Hello and welcome, my dear students. Today we are going to learn about dichotomous case. A dichotomous case basically a series of simple choices. At each step, you choose between two contrasting features until you reach the correct organism. Dichotomous keys are a useful tool which use a sequence of steps to identify a living or a non-living object. Dichotomous keys are usually represented in the two ways. The first way as a branching flowchart, diagrammatic representation, which I can show you over here. Here in this image, you can see that it is a series of flowcharts which is used to identify the organism. Then it can be a series of paired statements laid out in a numbered sequence. Sometimes there are some statements has been provided to you and you have to read the statements and identify the correct organism. Let's start dichotomous keys with some examples. Let's have a look at a simple example. 4 bird images are given and your task is to identify their names by looking at their features. So I'm going to read the question. The dichotomous key shown below can be used to identify birds W, X, Y and Z. So here you can see they have given you bird W, bird X, bird Y and bird Z. The beak is relatively long and slender. Just if you will look into point number 1A, among these 4 birds, you can find bird W has a long beak and it is slender as well. So it means that bird W, it is identified as Certidia. Okay, so what I'm going to do after identifying this organism, I'm just going to put a little tick on it because this organism has been identified. So this is eliminated. Now I will read the point number 1B. The beak is relatively stout and heavy. Among them, if you can see stout and heavy, all the rest 3 birds, they have beak which is stout and heavy. So we will go to the point number 2 because it is written in front of that. Point number 2A, the bottom surface of the lower beak is flat and straight. So you can see among these 3 birds, the lower surface which is flat, it belongs to bird X because the lower beak you can see it is flat and straight. So it means that bird X, it can be identified as Zeus visa. So I'm going to put a little tick on it because this animal, this bird has been recognized as well. So now I'm going to put a little tick next to bird X because this bird has been identified. Okay. Now, once we are done with point number 2A, I will read point number 2B. The bottom surface of the lower beak is curved. So we are left with only 2 birds, bird Y and bird Z. So both birds, their lower beak is curved. So we have to go to point number 3. The point number 3 says the lower edge of the upper beak has a distinct bend. So it is very clear if you can see among bird Y and bird Z. Bird Z, if you can see, they have a little bend over here. So it means that bird Z is basically a Camarynchus. And the last option, 3B, the lower edge of the upper beak is mostly flat. Yes, it is flat. So bird Y can be recognized as Platyspeza. So this is how we can use the key to identify the name of different birds. Let's do another example in which different type of leaves has been given and we have to identify their names. I'm going to read point number 1A. Point number 1A says, the leaf with smooth outline. The leaf with the smooth outline, we have to go to point number 2. Before I'm going to proceed to point number 2, among those leaves, I have to identify which leaf has a smooth outline. So it is very clear that leaf A and leaf F, they have a smooth outline. So I will choose A and F and then I will go to point number 2. Point number 2A says, a leaf about the same length as width. and the name of that leaf will be Cydonia. So among A and F, it is very much clear that A has a same width as length. So it means that this leaf is basically Cydonia. So now it is easy for me to identify the second leaf because the second option 2B they have given, the leaf is about twice as long as it is wide. So yes, it is long in size. So it means that leaf F is Magnolia. Okay. Now once I'm done with leaf A and F, I am left with 4 leaves, B, C, D and E. So now I have to identify their names. Before I'm going to proceed, I have to go back where I left 1B point. So I will start from here. Leaf with jagged outline. Leaf with jagged outline, you have to go to point number 3. As you can see that all these 4 leaves which we are left with, they have a jagged leaf. Their outlines, they are not smooth, they are jagged. So we have to follow point number 3. Okay, let's read the point number 3A statement. The leaf is divided into more than 2 distinct parts. Okay, so when the leaf is divided into more than 2 distinct parts, we have to go to point number 4. 2 distinct parts, as you can see, D and E. They have a leaf which is divided into more than 2 distinct parts. So we are going to identify D and E now. So it is written that you have to go to point number 4A. I'm going to read first now. So point 4A, leaf is divided into 5 parts. Okay, if the leaf is divided into 5 parts, name will be Aesculus. So among D and E, you can see that E is the one which has leaves which are divided into 5 parts. So it means that it is identified as Aesculus. Point number 4B says, leaf is divided into 10 or more parts. If it is divided into 10 or more parts, that name will be Fraxinus. So it means that point D, it is identified as Fraxinus. Okay. Now we have identified 4 leaves and we are left with B and C. So I will return back to point number 3B, which I left before. So I just will go back to that point 3B and I will read from here. Leaf not divided into more than 2 distinct parts. So you have to go to point number 5. Okay. So point number 5A says leaf with pointed spines along its edges. So pointy one, you can see that C is very much clear. It has a pointy edges. So it means that C is identified as Ilex. And the last one, leaf with the rounded lobes along its edges. Its name is Quercus. So it means that B is identified as Quercus. Let's do another example. In this example, they have given us 4 options, A, B, C, D. Such questions usually come in the form of MCQs and we have to choose the right choice. Let's see what they have given in the question. The diagram shows an arthropod. Using the key, identify this arthropod. Body segments clearly visible. Body segments not visible. So as you can see, that body is segmented. So we have to follow point number 2. So directly we will go to point number 2. Point number 2 says body with many segments. Body with 3 distinct parts. As we can see that yes, body has many segments. So we have to follow the key. We have to go to point number 3. Point number 3 says antenna longer than the legs. Antenna shorter than the legs. So you can see this is the antenna and the sizes of the legs you can see as well. So obviously antenna is longer than the jointed legs. So it means that antenna longer than the legs, option A is correct. My dear students, I hope you have understood how to use a dichotomous key. Now try the next example and write your answer in the comment section. If you would like more videos like this, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.